Good morning and welcome to the 2025 Annual Stockholders Meeting of Citicorp Energy REIT Corp. If you look at the right of your screen, there is a chat box. Please state therein if you can clearly hear and see us, or if you are having any difficulties. Feel free to type in the chat box any comments or questions you may have. We will address these during the question and answer portion of this ASM. Now, we begin by acknowledging the presence of our Board of Directors and Corporate Secretary. Chairman Mr. Edgar Saavedra. Director, Chief Executive Officer, and President Mr. Oliver Y. Tan. Director Manuel Louis B. Ferrer. Director Elizabeth Ann C. Oichaco. Director Ian Jason R. Aguirre. May I now introduce CREIT's independent directors, starting with Attorney Jose M. Layog Jr. Independent Director Pasita U. Juan. Independent Director Emmanuel G. Herbosa. We would also like to introduce CREIT's Corporate Secretary, Attorney Danica C. Evangelista. We also acknowledge the presence of the representatives from Isla Lepana & Co., CREIT's external auditor. Let's start with the prayer, followed by the Philippine National Anthem.
Dear Lord, we humble ourselves to you as we start our activity today. We praise you for giving us multiple opportunities to build a better future and ultimately create a greener and more sustainable country. Please continue to guide us as we harness your natural given resources, which will help us power our country as we empower our communities. May you give us the wisdom, the strength, and the heart to shine as champions of green energy. And help us remember that in all that we do to give back to our planet and the people that we serve. Amen.
Ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, helas ng silangalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y kulay. Lupang hinirang, kuyak ka ng mahiting, sa mandulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagatang tugon sa simoy at sa langit kong bagaw, ay tinatang tuglang awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang lang matawad ko'y tagumpay na nag-iinit, ang bituin at karoon niya kailan pang ay matitingin, lupa ng araw ng walhagit pagsingka, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang ligaya na pagkay mga akin at mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Now, a word of welcome from our chairman in this brief video message.
In 2024, CREIT stood on solid ground as a stable and sustainable investments platform. 3 years since our listing, we continue building strong foundations and resilient operations, empowering shareholder investments as we champion renewable energy. The government's ardent trust to expedite and fully realize the Philippines' renewable energy transition brings many opportunities to the energy industry and adjacent sector. Being a renewable energy REIT grants us an upper hand, especially with the country's continued attractiveness for renewable energy investments. The country is also seeing a more diversified REIT landscape, with strong REIT performance in 2024, driven by improvements in the stock market and a more favorable interest rate environment. In this setting, CREIT has set itself apart by operating in renewable energy space, ensuring resilience regardless of market conditions throughout the year. Given the advantageous playing field for scaling up renewable energy in the country, our land assets, which are primed to support such development, are an attractive opportunity for investors. With this, CREIT is optimistic about stable growth. The resiliency of the REIT, coupled with the fast-growing and visible pipeline of its sponsor, CREC, is why we believe in our business model and why we continue on a path with security and continued progress. We expect investors to continue setting their sights on REITs in 2025, seeing stable returns from this investment. But with our unique portfolio grounded in supporting renewable expansion in the Philippines, CREIT offers green investors stability in generating returns and a positive impact on sustainable development.
We call on Mr. Saavedra to formally begin our ASM.
Good morning. As Chairman of the Board, I hereby call to order this 2025 Annual Stockholders Meeting of Citicorp Energy REIT Corp. Thank you for joining us today. Kindly refer to the agenda flashed on the screen. I now call on our Corporate Secretary to certify that notices were sent and that a quorum exists to conduct this meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I certify that the notice and agenda for this ASM were sent to the stockholders of record as of close of business day on May 19, 2025. To give you more details, the notice was immediately disclosed to the Philippine Stock Exchange, Inc. on March 25, 2025, upon its approval by the Board of Directors and released in the PSE EDGE as a circular. The notice and agenda, together with CREIT's annual report and information statement, were then distributed to the stockholders. The information statement and CREIT's website also contain instructions on how the stockholders may vote, submit their proxies, and participate in the ASM. All these were completed in compliance with the requirements of CREIT's bylaws, the revised corporation code, and the issuances of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Mr. Chairman, I also certified that we have a quorum to conduct this meeting, given that stockholders representing 63.16% of the outstanding capital stock of CREIT, or 4,134,395,770 shares, are participating in person, in absentia, or by proxy herein.
Thank you, Ms. Secretary. Can you discuss the voting procedure for this meeting?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The voting procedures for this annual stockholders meeting is as follows. 1. All the stockholders of record at the close of business day on May 19, 2025 are entitled to the notice and to vote at this meeting. 2. The matters in the agenda shall be decided by a majority vote of the stockholders present in person or by proxy, except in cases where the law provides otherwise. The voting results shall be discussed with each agenda item. 3. The stockholders were given the opportunity to vote in absentia from May 19, 2025 until 11:59 p.m. of June 4, 2025 through an online voting portal prepared by CREIT. Only the stockholders who were validated by CREIT's stock transfer agent, Professional Stock Transfer, Inc., were allowed to vote in absentia. The stockholders were also permitted to submit proxy forms until June 4, 2025 through electronic mail or personal service. Each of the votes cast in absentia and by proxy shall be considered cast for all the shares of such stockholder. And lastly, CREIT stock transfer agent tabulated the votes cast in absentia and by proxy, which were then confirmed by CREIT's external auditor, Isla Lepana & Co.
Let us now proceed with the approval of the minutes of the annual stockholders meeting held on June 21, 2024. I understand that copies of such minutes have been distributed and posted in CREIT's website.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I am Jed Espiritu, proxy for stockholder Lelaine Rosales. I move to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the annual stockholders meeting held on June 21, 2024, and move to approve the minutes as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I am Stephen C., proxy for stockholders CREC, and I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded that the minutes of the 21 June 2024 annual stockholders meeting be approved. Ms. Secretary, may we know the voting results on this matter?
Mr. Chairman, based on the votes cast, 100% of the stockholders present in person or by proxy are in favor of approving the motion.
Thank you, Ms. Secretary. Motion is approved.
We shall now go to the President's report.
CREIT remains steadfast in empowering investments with business stability and sustainability commitments in 2024. The foundation of our relationships with lessees, investors, and host communities remains strong, as seen in our financial performance and consistent actions toward sustainable development. Our accomplishments translated positively to our investors through record high dividends and to our host communities through sustainability programs conducted with the Citicorp Group. The company's strong green portfolio strengthened our financial position in the previous year, powering our stable growth and dividend yields. In 2024, CREIT recorded a 5% increase in revenues to 1.9 billion pesos. EBITDA rose to 1.8 billion pesos and net income inched up to 1.4 billion pesos. Our financial standing is the impact of the 7 land parcels totaling 5.12 million square meters acquired in 2023, an improved guaranteed base lease, and a 48% increase in our variable lease revenues totaling 50 million pesos. We maintained all 14 assets in our green portfolio in 2024, totaling 7.1 million square meters of gross leasable space with a 100% occupancy rate year-round and an impressive above-industry standard weighted average lease expiry of 20.44 years as of the end of 2024. The effect? CREIT was able to declare consistent dividends of 0.049 cents per share for the first 9 months of 2024, ending with 0.055 cents per share in Q4. In total, we have paid 0.202 cents per share in 2024. Not only are our dividends above the required 90% of distributable income, but they are our highest since our listing in 2022. Our adherence to strong management practices, sound corporate governance, and sustainable investments was recognized by our finance and industry peers. The Asset AAA Awards for Sustainable Finance conferred CREIT with the Best Green Bond Award, while partners gave us their vote of confidence in this year's Finance Asia poll. We also received our first Golden Arrow from the Institute of Corporate Directors, a mark of CREIT's commitment to ensuring transparency in investments while operating with the highest standards of corporate governance. Sustainability will always be at the core of our company. The Citicorp Group fosters a greener and safer environment through sustainability initiatives that support holistic progress for communities around our lands. Green investors focused on sustainability are also assured that their investment fully contributed to the growth of a green asset class and, in turn, the development of the Philippine renewable energy industry. With our land as a foundation for renewable energy operators and developers, investors are part of Citicorp's commitment to pure renewable energy and a sustainable, climate-resilient future. CREIT's continued growth is further supported by its close relationship with its sponsor, CREIT. Its 7 acquired assets in 2023 are the sites of solar farms, part of the sponsor's 5 gigawatts in 5 years roadmap. Once these renewable energy facilities are online, we expect to surge in tandem, further giving merit to our value-accretive strategy. Of course, we still aim to grow our green portfolio and expand investment opportunities. Our 3-year investment plan for 2025 to 2027 is more strategic in acquiring lands for renewable energy developments by seeking to accelerate income realization for the company and our investors. After 3 years, our vision remains the same: to be the foremost energy REIT investment in the Philippines, delivering superior yields from a portfolio of sustainable prime land and solar assets. As we continue our journey, we aim to provide a more significant upside, implementing our strategies in asset acquisition and operational optimization to empower your investments and leave a positive impact on our communities and the environment.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let us proceed with the next agenda item.
The next agenda item is the ratification of all acts, resolutions, and proceedings of the Board of Directors and Management until June 9, 2025.
Mr. Chairman, I am Jed Espiritu, proxy for stockholder Lalaine Rosales, and I move that all acts, resolutions, and proceedings of the Board of Directors and Management until June 9, 2025 be ratified.
Mr. Chairman, I am Stephen C., proxy for stockholders CREC, and I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded for the ratification of all acts of the Board of Directors and Management. Ms. Secretary, may we know the voting results on this matter?
Mr. Chairman, based on the votes cast, 100% of the stockholders present in person or by proxy have approved this agenda item.
Thank you, Ms. Secretary. The motion is approved. The next item on the agenda is the ratification of the company's audited financial statements for the year ended December 31, 2024. I understand that the audited financial statements had been distributed together with the annual report and information statements disclosed in the PSE Edge and posted in CREIT's website.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I am Stephen C., proxy for stockholders CREC. I move that CREIT's financial statements for the year ended December 31, 2024, as audited by Isla Lepania & Co., be approved.
Mr. Chairman, I am Jed Espiritu, proxy for stockholder Lalaine Rosales, and I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded for the approval of the audited financial statements of CREIT for the year ended December 31, 2024. Ms. Secretary, may we know the voting results on this matter?
Mr. Chairman, based on the votes cast, 100% of the stockholders present in person or by proxy are in approval of this agenda item.
Thank you, Ms. Secretary. Motion is approved. The next item of the agenda is the election of directors.
Mr. Chairman, CREIT's Nominations, Compensation, and Personnel Committee has submitted the final list of 8 nominees found to be qualified for election as members of the Board of Directors of CREIT.
Please state the names of the nominees, Ms. Secretary.
The nominees are Mr. Edgar B. Saavedra as Director, Mr. Oliver Y. Tan as Director, Mr. Manuel Louis B. Ferrer as Director, Ms. Elizabeth Ann C. Uichaco as Director, Mr. Ian Jason R. Aguirre as Director, Mr. Jose M. Layog Jr. as Independent Director, Ms. Pasita U. Juan as Independent Director, and Mr. Emmanuel G. Herbosa as Independent Director. The foregoing list includes 3 nominees found to be qualified for election as independent directors in compliance with the requirements of the relevant laws, rules, and regulations for publicly listed companies.
Mr. Chairman, I am Jed Espiritu, proxy for stockholder Lalaine Rosales. Since there are 8 nominees for 8 board seats to be filled up, I move that the 8 nominees be deemed elected as director for the ensuing year.
Mr. Chairman, I am Stephen C., proxy for stockholders CREIT, and I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded for the election of the nominees mentioned as the members of the Board of Directors. Ms. Secretary, please tell us the voting results on this matter.
Mr. Chairman, the results of the election of the members of the Board of Directors are being flashed on the screen. A majority of the stockholders present in person or by proxy have approved the election of the 8 nominees as members of the Board of Directors for the ensuing year.
Thank you, Ms. Secretary. Motion is passed. The next item on the agenda is the appointment of the external auditor. Upon the recommendation of CREIT's Audit, Risk, and Oversight Committee, the Board of Directors proposed that Isla Lipana and Company be appointed as the external auditor.
Mr. Chairman, I am Stephen C., proxy for stockholders CREIT. I move to appoint Isla Lipana & Co. as external auditor of CREIT.
Mr. Chairman, I am Jed Espiritu, proxy for stockholder Lalaine Rosales, and I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded for the appointment of Isla Lipana and Company as the external auditor of CREIT. Ms. Secretary, may we know the voting results on this matter?
Mr. Chairman, based on the votes cast, 100% of the stockholders present in person or by proxy have approved this agenda item.
The motion is approved. Thank you, Ms. Secretary.
We are now moving on to our question and answer portion. To our audience, please enter your questions in the chat box on the right side of your screens. Questions will be entertained on a first-come, first-served basis. For good order, please state your name and affiliation. We request everyone to limit your questions to 1 main question and 1 follow-up question. Thank you. We have received these questions. Congratulations on your annual stockholders meeting. Do you have any plans of acquiring land or solar assets owned by developers or operators outside Citicorp? May we have Director, CEO, and President Mr. Oliver Whitean to answer this question.
Hi, good morning. Yes, the company has planned to acquire new solar operating assets from its sponsor, CREIT. We are targeting to complete the acquisition on or before year-end.
Thank you, sir. Next question. As mentioned in your previous briefings, new acquisitions into your asset portfolio positively impact your dividends. Given this, when is the next scheduled asset infusion into CREIT, and are you waiting for any project milestones before acquiring new assets?
As mentioned, we are aiming to acquire the first batch of approximately 250 megawatt worth of new solar on or before year-end. We're waiting for the successful commissioning of these plants and also securing necessary regulatory approvals.
Thank you, sir. Sir, as a follow-up question to that, will you be acquiring purely land or also solar assets?
For this batch one, since the land or the property were already owned by CREIT, so the acquisition will only involve the solar plant facilities.
Thank you, sir. Sir, when will the solar plants being built on your land acquired in 2023 be operational?
Around the first batch of the solar assets will be operational Q3 to Q4, where the sponsor is targeting to energize approximately 1 gigawatt worth of new solar before the end of the year.
Thank you, sir. If you have any more questions, kindly proceed to place them in the chat box on the right side of your screens. Are there any updates on the land acquisitions for your second gigawatt?
Since we already fully deployed the green band that we raised 2 years ago, so any new acquisition would involve new fundraising. Any new land acquisition would involve new fundraising, which we are looking at around next year. So we will first complete the acquisition of the batch one of the solar asset before the end of the year, before any plans of acquiring new properties.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. Please note that we will respond via email to the other questions we received before the ASM.
Are there further questions or matters to be raised?
No further questions or matters, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the meeting be adjourned.
Mr. Chairman, I second the motion.
Thank you. The ASM is hereby adjourned.
That concludes CREIT's 2025 Annual Stockholders Meeting. You may view our Annual Stockholders Report through our website or visit our social media pages. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the day.